Hey everybody, welcome back to Champion Sons in our NCAA football series with the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Now, as we take a quick little jump into the recruiting that we have going on right now, looking at some of the guys that do not have scholarships yet, I do just want to take a quick second to thank all of y'all for the support that y'all have shown the channel and the series. It's been crazy for the last month. We've gotten over the 100 subscriber mark. I cannot thank y'all enough for that. It's just amazing. I hope y'all continue to enjoy it, and just thank y'all very much for that. So let's talk about recruiting for a second. Okay, we've gotten pretty much our main target guys. We know who we're going to be going after. So right now, with some of these final points, I want to look at who we haven't actually scouted yet. Some guys who've been added to our recruiting board off camera, and these are obviously some lower rated guys. All the big talent right now, for some reason, still isn't wanting to come to Lubbock at this moment. So we're trying to fill in some spots and maybe find a diamond in the rough like we just got here with Seth Haynes, a strong safety who went from, low 60s, high 50s, low 60s to a 67 overall with him being fully scouted. We do add 150 points to him just to kind of start working our way on up. Need to always really confirm where he is at or where we stand really within his school choice. But he's something we need to keep our eye on. Anderson is definitely getting a little old for us. He's been with us for a couple seasons now, so he will have to move on eventually, and we really need to start looking for his replacement there. Now, finishing off some of these other guys, looking at tight end Malcolm Coleman, he improved 5 overall in the last bit of scouting, right? So he is 59 overall, and we're pretty far behind him because, once again, these guys have just been added to our block. So a lot of them we're not going to have that big of a pull on yet. It's just one of these things. Hopefully, if we can continue to perform well and they don't lock us out, if they are good enough, maybe we can pique that interest and get them coming over to our school, right? So that's what we were doing with those who we have not offered scholarships with and those that we haven't scouted yet. But looking at our main targets, Jeremy Small, we've got his visit set up. He's still our number one. Defensive tackle, Rob Williams. I think our defensive line is going to be crazy come the next season. Looking at some of the other guys, Kyle Hale at running back. Scott Fitzpatrick's there, but we're too far behind him. We've been focusing on him, and he still hasn't made a move for us. So it's one of those things. I don't really want to continue to push my luck with him at this point, right? It's just something I'm not looking to do. So it's kind of just checking in, filling out some of the final point amounts for some of these guys, especially in the receiver realm. We haven't gotten any receivers, and it seems like we're kind of lacking in that area. However, we've got the lead on a couple. Just want to shore some of those things up, kind of moving forward. And then even on our defense has always been a big focus, but we can't forget about the offense, right? Our running game, Birch is there. J.R. Kennedy's out for the season. So we definitely need some depth at running back, and that's kind of where we fill some stuff in at in that area. Finishing off those points, looking at Andrew Bryant, an athlete, and Brad Green, both decided to go to different schools. Andrew Bryant went to Texas, a 5-star prospect. That would have been great to land. Unfortunately, for some reason, he just did not want to come to our school even after we beat Texas and were undefeated this season. It is what it is. Focus on those guys we can really get. Continue to shore up our defensive line, some of our receivers, and our halfbacks. So now that is complete, we are going to take a look at our very next game, facing off against the number 16 Kansas State Wildcats here in Manhatten, Kansas. They are leaders of the Big 12 North. Well, we are leaders in the Big 12 South. We are undefeated. Kansas State, I believe, has lost one game this year. So they are definitely a beatable team, but so are we. So we have to be careful. Manhatten, Kansas, if you've ever watched them in real life, it is a tough place to play. The Longhorns generally have a tough time winning there. And even Oklahoma has a tough time winning there. So it's never an easy trip. I don't care what we are ranked, what they are ranked. it is going to be a fight. We have to play well on offense and efficient. But the biggest thing I really believe is our defense is going to have to show up. They've had a lot of great games, but we haven't had that truly shut down game yet. And I think this would be a staple moment for us if we can. We are number 6 in the country. We need to show that we can shut people down when the time comes. All right, so let's get this thing going here. Just about 6.5 minute mark in the first quarter. We do have the ball. Holt will drop it off to Kyle Jones on the 1st and 10. He picks up 4 yards to make it to a 2nd and 6. That is Jones' first reception of the day in the afternoon. He hasn't been targeted as much as I normally would like to, but hey, they've been eyeing on him pretty frequently, so it is what it is. 2nd and 6 from the 35. Holt in the pistol, hands it to Birch. He's got a little hole to the left, and he blasts his way up the middle. Picks up about 8 yards on that one. That will give us a 1st and 10 at this point. So we are now at the 28-yard line. We are moving. Under 6 minutes to go in the first quarter. This is our opening drive. We come to the line. We are going to be in a shotgun. 2 running backs in the backfield, 3 wide. Holt. He has the snap. A little bit of play action. Drops back. Pressure comes. Fires it to the left side, and that one's almost going to be intercepted. Ooh, that was a risky pass. Holt now 3 for 4 for 31 yards on the afternoon. A pretty good start on this drive, but that was a little too risky. Not something I want to do very often here. One turnover can make the difference. So we come back out 3 wide, 2 running backs. We hand it off to Rivas going up the middle. He's got space, Zach Rivas, and he's going to be brought down at the 1-yard line after a 28-yard rush. How did they not give us that touchdown? Rivas followed his blockers beautifully. He was prepared for that safety to come off and hit him, but he didn't. And that may have slowed him up just enough to actually be brought down from behind, as they will mark us at the 1-yard line here with a 1st and goal. So we are going to come out set. Holt in the shotgun formation, 5 wide. He's alone in the backfield. He's got the snap, scans over. He's going to take off and run for it. Holt's going to be into the end zone. Touchdown, Red Raiders. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Dominic Holt taking it for himself. Now, there have been rumblings, there have been rumors around that he may be looking at being a possible finalist for a Heisman. I don't know. I don't want to fall too much into that just yet. Let's keep focused on winning some games here. And that first touchdown will result in a 7-0 lead after we send that extra point on through. And let's take a look at some other scores for games going on right now. Baylor does just take the lead in Ames, Iowa over the Cyclones, 7-0. Baylor trying to make a push this season at 4-1. And then Nebraska takes out Ohio State in Lincoln 38-31. That's a big win for that program. Ohio State's got their 2nd loss of the season already. That's a pretty rare thing for them to have going into week 6. But they are now 4-2, so it'll be interesting to see how far they fall. Now here come the Wildcats pushing it right back. 4.5 minutes to go in the first quarter, handing it off to Gold on a 1st and 10 on the Texas Tech side of the field, and our defense swarms them. But here's where we falter, ladies and gentlemen. They are going fast-paced offense. We've got to make the adjustments quick. Under center, Kansas State, 2 wide, I formation. Henley has the snap, tosses it to Gold to the right side. He's not able to get outside. He is going to be brought down for a 1-yard loss right there. Mike Pennington coming up from the safety spot to put the hit on him. And so now Kansas State still going hurry up. 3rd and 11. Shotgun formation. Has the snap. Hands it to Gold. He's got some space. And Gold is going to be brought down after only 6 yards. Anderson came in there and closed that one out. Great play by that young man. As they are going to be resulting to kick about a 50-yard field goal, give or take, and it's going to sail wide. That's no good. Texas Tech holds them scoreless after that drive, and it looked like he had the distance, just not the aim. Barely had the distance, but it is no good, so we will maintain a 7-0 lead here. Under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. So after that missed field goal, we come out 4 wide in a shotgun formation. Holt gets the snap. And we're running a screen. We drop it off for Birch. He's got some blockers. Birch down the sideline. Cuts it back over and is brought down at the 40-yard line. Chris Birch, 24-yard reception on that screen play. That was beautifully blocked. those linemen got out there in front of them, and they were able to get some guys tied up to help get Birch into the open. And the defense for Kansas State did a great job pulling off the angles and cutting them off and bringing them down at the 40-yard line. But a big-time gain by this Red Raider offense, and we are moving once again. Now Holt's going to come out in the pistol formation, 3 wide. Run a little bit of play action. Holt out of the pocket to the left. Fires it over the middle. He's got Kyle Jones down the middle, and he's going to fumble. Oh, my God, you've got to be kidding me. Cutler does make the tackle. It looks like they'll be stopped at about the 3-yard line, but Kyle Jones had it. Oh, no, that is a turnover you do not want to have happen. That is a momentum killer, especially that far into the Wildcat territory. Kyle Jones, he just got blasted. I mean, kudos to the Wildcat defense for hitting him that hard. But he dropped the ball, and they will recover it. Cutler made a great stop on that one to prevent him from getting out in the open. Now, we did force them to punt, so we will get the ball back in good field position here. Still in the first quarter. Holt drops back, fires it over the middle again, and he's got Paul, our tight end, Andy Paul, for 29 yards, and he does hold on to it unlike Jones. Paul, what a great route run by him, and Holt just dropped it in beautifully right into his arms over the safety and the linebackers there. And that'll bring us with a 1st and 10 inside the red zone. We go 4 wide pistol formation, hand it to Birch up the middle, cuts it out to the left, tries to spin it back in, and is brought down at about the 12-yard line after a gain of 7. And it looks like that should take us to the end of the first quarter, where we do have a 7-0 lead over the number 16 Kansas State Wildcats in Manhatten, Kansas. The purple is out, ladies and gentlemen, but we are not letting it affect us. The red and black have the lead, and we plan to keep it this way. But that turnover was killer. It shows we can fault like that. Even though we're number 6, we're not a perfect team. We've got to still continue to be better. So now 2nd and 3 here to start the second quarter. As we run an option keeper, Holt up the middle, lowering his shoulder, and is brought down after a gain of 11 yards. Dominic Holt, he's now got 4 rushes for 6 yards because he's been sacked a few times already. And that will give us a 1st and goal at the 1. We have 8 first downs so far in the game. That's about standard for us, I would think. Now we come out in a heavy pistol formation. Holt hands it off to Birch. Up the middle, and he's going to be planted in the turf. Oh, my goodness. What a violent hit by that Wildcat linebacker, and he just plants Birch on his keister. That's going to be a 2-yard loss, but we still have 2nd and goal at least and did not turn the ball over. So now where do we go from here? We just got smacked into the ground. We've got to get them, get some guys moving. See what we can do here out in a little bit of open space that we have. Holt rolling to his right, fires it. Kyle Jones makes up for his mistake. Get your guns up, Tech. Go, my goodness. Oh, baby. Holt to Jones. Coming across, Holt was rolling out to his right. Jones followed him the whole way and is able to make that catch for the touchdown, as we will now double our lead after this extra point. And we'll make it 14-0 here in Kansas State. Now let's take a look at how Baylor and Iowa State's going. In Iowa State, they put 10 unanswered on the Bears there in Ames, Iowa. Momentum going their way. That is, once again, that's another tough place to play. You cannot make mistakes. But it'll be interesting to see how that game finishes out. So let's get back to ours. 8.5 minutes to go in the second. Kansas State comes out in the shotgun formation, sends a tight end in motion. Henley rolling out to the left. He's hit hard, and Woods makes the catch. That pressure got to Henley, and he dropped it off to Brandon Woods, who bounced off a tackler. But they're not going to give him forward momentum as he ends up coming back after the first missed tackle there, and then we bring him down. So that's actually going to be a 1-yard loss, and that'll bring up 3rd and 11 here for this Wildcat offense, as our defense has played outstanding this game, pretty much outside of the first drive that resulted in the missed field goal. So 3rd and 11, Wildcats come out in a shotgun formation, 3-receiver set. And as they get the snap, Henley, pressure's coming. Henley rolling out throws it to his right, and it's going to be caught by Bill Moss for only 5 yards, though, and that'll bring up a 4th and 6. Our defense is swarming today. It is absolutely swarming. Now, they would force us to punt the ball, so Kansas State does get the ball back here, 4.5 minutes to go. Henley hands it off to Spurlock, tries to get outside. Johnson does not let him. He's one of our star linebackers. His first season in the starting role, and he is stepping up big time. After only 1 yard gain for Spurlock. They're going to hurry up once again. 2nd and 9. Kansas State, 4 wide. Shotgun formation. Henley has it. Pressure not really coming. Kind of gets there late. He throws it down. Anderson goes up and gets it. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Anderson used his body positioning, and Henley went deep for it, but Anderson was able to position the receiver out of the area to make that catch, and he comes down with it, and that is a big-time turnover for this Red Raider defense, something we've not always done all season. We've made some clutch interceptions, don't get me wrong, but we haven't had that many full-blown turnovers. Now, our offense has gotten a little stagnant as they did stop us, and Kansas State got it back, but turns it over immediately. Smith with the interception, the second one, and just about as many throws for Kansas State. John Smith with his first interception. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. The 2 passes in a row by Kansas State have been picked off. This is something our defense is not used to doing. I'll say that much at least. So now 2 turnovers here in the first half. And we've got the ball in good field position at the Wildcat 23-yard line, minute and a half remaining in the first half. So here we go. Pistol formation, 4 wide, 3 to the left. Holt. He scans over the field, has the snap. Pressure comes, stands tall, and he's going to be brought down for the sack. No one open to throw it to, and he could not get out of the pocket in time, so he just takes the sack. Nelson Cutler for the Wildcats comes in and brings him down. That was a big-time loss, and that makes it 2nd and 20 now as we approach the 1-minute mark for the first half. So now we're coming out 4 wide once again in the shotgun formation. Holt has the snap, scans over. He's going to fire it deep down the field, and that one's almost intercepted. You know, we've got to be careful about that. We threw those couple interceptions last week. Now we've gotten lucky today. That one we got real lucky, did not get picked off, and it brings up a 3rd and 20. So Holt's going to go 4 wide, pistol formation once again. Runs a play action, rolling out to his right, trying to give his guys time. He's going to find Sparks, cuts it back up. Hunter Sparks, get your guns up, Red Raider Nation. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Hunter Sparks with that final little move as he approached the sideline. Could have gone out of bounds. He turns it back up and lowers his shoulder and gets into the end zone. And that's going to give us, extend our lead out to 21-0 here in the first half. What a great play and a response to stopping their offense. We go down and put up points. We have paid the defense back for their interception right there as we lead 21-0 now, under a minute to go in the first half. And taking a look, Virginia Tech, the number 3 Hokies, are in trouble in Blacksburg as they are losing to Duke 24-21. That would be a major upset and probably the biggest win in Blue Devil history. So here comes Kansas State now. They're losing 21-0. They're going to try to get something going. Henley scrambling. Oh, crap. He's got down the left sideline. Henley slides down, and they are going to call a timeout. So 27 seconds are remaining on the clock. They're at looks like the Wildcat 42-yard line. And this first half ain't over. We cannot count our chickens before they hatch, as the old saying goes. Wildcats come out 4 wide. Shotgun formation. Henley has the snap. Pressure kind of comes to him, and he gets it off to Moss, who's blasted after 5 yards. This game is getting pretty violent. Gotta love seeing a football game like that. Wildcats going quick. Henley with the snap. He's scanning over the field. Pressure's not there, and White jumps up. White makes the interception. Turnover number 3 on the day for this Red Raider defense. White just stuck with his man, and Henley tried to drop it in, and White just high points it and makes the interception. And that is how the first half will end, ladies and gentlemen. shutting out Kansas State at home, 21-0. 3 interceptions in their final 3 drives, basically. And this is, I'm not going to lie, I did not expect that from our defense. I expected us to kind of play good and tough, but I did not see, turnover fest happening here on the field. But some great plays. Anderson, White, obviously coming through. Johnson in the linebacker spot. Closing the gaps on a lot of these guys on Gold and Henley as Henley gets out of the pocket. Gotta love seeing that. Getting pressure out. We haven't gotten a sack yet, but we are getting the pressure, which is really disrupting that passing game. So looking at the yards, they have about 81 yards to our 292. So we are outgaining them all areas of the field. It looks like the game should be 21-0, if not 28 or even 35. Looking at the way this game has gone so far. So our defense has held them to under 100 yards in the first half of offense. That was almost unheard of. But there are 2 halves to a football game, and Kansas State will get the ball to start out the second half, and they are moving. So Henley with an option. Johnson's going to bring him down. Ooh, he was not falling for it. Aaron Johnson, his first tackle for a loss on the afternoon. They ran the option. He came with the blitz. I thought Henley may be tossing it, but he did not. And Johnson brings him down. That's going to be a 3-yard loss and make it 2nd and 13 at the Red Raider 37-yard line. Now, they are going to have to pass it some more. I mean, they are down by 21. They have got to start getting the ball in the air if they want to make any sort of comeback. Henley with the snaps, no pressure coming, gets it off to Spurlock. He's got some blockers, and he's going to push Anderson off like a stiff wind. You've got to be kidding me. They get a big play down the left sideline to Spurlock. He's now got 42 receiving yards on the afternoon after that about 20-some-odd yard play. And they are going quick. Henley in a shotgun formation once again. He has a snap. He's going to hand it off to Gold, who's got a big hole open over the middle. Devin Gold, 8 yards into the end zone. Kansas State is not done with this game just yet, is what they are saying. The score is now going to be 21-7 here, and they get a touchdown starting out with this their first drive of the second half. That is not what you want to see from your defense coming out as they boot that extra point through, and it is officially now 21-7 in Manhatten, Kansas. We've got to step up and prevent any type of comeback from happening here. So we are going to move ahead a little bit on to about 4.5 minutes ago in the third quarter, as we do have the ball and we are driving at the Wildcat 30. Holt, as the snap, fires it over to Mark Cutler, who gets hit hard. This defense for the Wildcats have come out laying the lumber to our running back and our receiving core. If you remember, Birch from the first half got planted in to the turf on that goal line play. Now Cutler getting smacked hard. Really just hope these hits don't pile up and we start seeing guys get injured here. 2nd and 6 after that 4-yard gain. That puts us at about the 26.5-yard line. As Holt comes out 4 wide. Shotgun formation, drops back, fires on the wide receiver, screen to Jones. Oh my goodness, Jones is blasted as well. Kyle Jones, great play, and looked like we had some blocking set up, just not enough though, as they dropped back almost about 8 guys, and Kyle Jones, he suffers for that one and takes a big hit, and it brings up 3rd and 2 now. So we still have not scored. It is still 21-7, trying to add some separation between us and the Wildcats. Holt in a pistol formation, hands it off to Birch. Up the middle, Chris Birch lowering his shoulder and fighting forward for about a total of 9 yards on that one, as we will get the first down, and that puts us inside the red zone here at the 14-yard line. So now 1st and 10 at the 14. So again, not wanting to make a mistake, needing to get a score. Holt comes out in a pistol formation. He's going to run a play action and rolls out to his right. Pressure comes, drops it off to Coley, our fullback. You don't really see him too often. And he does make the catch, though, but he's brought down for a 2-yard loss. Probably would have been better served just to throw that one away. But he hits his fullback, and that results in a 2-yard loss. So it's 2nd and 12 now from the 15-yard line here as we are trying to extend our lead. It is 21-7. Kansas State scored first in this second half. We need to respond to them at some point. Now on the option keeper, Holt gets going and picks up 13 yards. Almost had the touchdown, but somebody dragged him down from behind. He does have one touchdown on the ground already today. So we are at the 3-yard line, goal-to-go situation. This is going to be a big one. We spread them out 5 wide. Holt in a shotgun formation, making some last-second changes. Gets the snap. He stands in the pocket, drops it off to Davis, and they knocked that one away. He was surrounded by purple and silver, but Holt still thought he could squeeze it in. Just did not get it there. And it looked like Davis may have had it, but they knocked it out of his hands. So that one does fall incomplete, luckily, instead of an interception, and that brings up 2nd and goal now from the 3. And so this time we come out in a heavy set under center formation. Holt hands it off to Coley, lowering his shoulder. Bryant Coley in for the touchdown. Oh, my goodness. Oh, baby. Oh, baby. Brian Coley getting physical with it. Says, don't give me the ball in the flat. I don't do well in space. I do well blasting through a line, and pushes everybody forward into the end zone, as we will now extend our lead to be 28-7 here in Manhattan, Kansas, as we approach the end of the third quarter. Now let's take a look. Duke, they have, oh my goodness, they now have a 1-touchdown lead over the number 3 Virginia Tech Hokies. It is not looking good for Virginia Tech. Quarterback Fontaine for Duke's got 4 touchdown passes on the day. He's having a pretty good afternoon. So here we are now in the fourth quarter, 9.5 minutes to go. This is a drive that can kind of shut this game out if we can get a score. As we find Hunter Sparks tries to make a move, but is brought down after a gain of 18 yards. He's got 59 receiving yards on only 3 catches. That main one being the big touchdown he scored in the first half for us. So now at the 25-yard line with a 1st and 10, Holt comes out in a shotgun formation. We got 4 wide, Birch in the backfield. Holt hands it off to Birch up the middle. Chris Birch picks up about 8 yards before he's brought down by the Wildcat safety. And that was a pretty good run. The defensive line is kind of getting pushed around. Looks like they may be a little tired of our offense. Those big hog mollies are starting to make an impact here in this game. So 2nd and 2 coming out inside the red zone at the 17-yard line. Come out in a pistol formation. Once again, Birch in the backfield. Holt hands it off to Birch, and he's going to get hit hard for a 2-yard loss. Wow, Nelson Cutler gets his 3rd tackle for a loss on the day. And he came running through untouched. That was the perfect blitz that the Wildcats called. And he just lowered his shoulder, and Birch paid the price on that one. So now they have a 3rd and 4 from the 19-yard line. Holt, 4 wide, shotgun formation. Birch to his left. Holt's got the snap, rolling out to his right. He's got really nowhere to go with it, and he'll just throw that one away. That was a smarter play. Holt's got 259 yards and 2 touchdowns on the day, so he's got nothing to prove to anybody. And that will set us up for the field goal. Harris, not known for kicking too many field goals, he puts that one right down the middle. As we now extended our lead 31-7. There's only 7.5 minutes remaining in the game. So this one is pretty much done. Now we did put in our backups, let them finish it off for us. It was a great performance. Our defense showed out. I mean, that was an unexpected thing from them. Well done. I'm glad to see them playing this way right now. I didn't expect that type a game from them at any point this season, but especially against the number 16 team. Gotta love seeing that. And then that final drive to get that field goal. I think that was a big momentum thing for us, showing that we can actually take that step to have that put-away drive. That's one of the biggest things that you want to see from teams trying to take that step to be a championship type of dynasty is you got to put teams away. They had come down and scored in the third quarter. We had them on the ropes, but we needed to finish them off. And, yeah, it was a field goal, but it was definitely enough that we got. And so we do win this one 31-7. Defense played absolutely phenomenal. Offense, what can you say about them? They played excellent. Kyle Jones had the one fumble, but he made up for it with the touchdown. Coley lowering his shoulder, making his presence known. It was overall a great afternoon for this team. Now, with that in mind, I do just want to say if you have not hit the subscribe button, go ahead and hit that button. And if you did like the video today, definitely give us a thumbs up, as it really does help out the channel. And as always, I thank y'all for everything you do for us here at Champ and Sons. And hit that little bell notification icon so you're notified of all Champ and Son uploads, including our College World Series, college baseball that we have going on right now as well. So we are going to move on to the next week, which that'll start us off in the next episode. We are 7-0 at this point, number 6 in the nation. We'll see where we end up in the very next episode. So as always, everybody, stay safe, and well, y'all know how it goes by now, right? Later, y'all.